Good morning, everybody. This is Gary Matheny. It's good to see y'all this morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I got very few technical skills, so I apologize in advance that I don't have much to offer you all in technology. But I am a believer in certain principles, certain values. And basically one of them is give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. It's a principle of law. And I also believe it's a spiritual principle. If all you have is a little bit, then give that. Give what you have. And so basically, I'm not telling you that I have a lot of technical expertise and I'm going to show you how to operate this or that electronic device. I can't. I don't have it within me to give you that. But what I do have is on the intangible side. The name of my program is Liberty Observatory. We are going to observe freedom and liberty, and we're going to comment upon freedom and liberty. And my hope is that from what I share, for whatever expertise I have, no matter how great or how small, that you sense the intangible, the gift of freedom, the gift of liberty. Because one of the premises that we operate under as believers is that these matters come from God, not from man. In other words, freedom and liberty are given to us by God, not from man. Now, man can certainly impede our concept and belief and experience in freedom and liberty, but it comes from God. God gives us freedom and liberty in Christ. So let me tell you today a couple of principles or values or observations that I have pretty much built my life around, and they have served me well. And I can tell you as an older fellow now that I have not only theorized these principles, but I have experienced them. So therefore, I feel like that what I have to give is freedom and liberty. I can give you that. If you give me an ear to hear, I will help you be more freer, more liberty. Give you those through the power of God. Basically, the two main principles that I built my life around, one before the other. And first and foremost is the principle of freedom on the inside. Freedom on the inside. We got to be free on the inside of us. We have got to be free on the inside of us before we can really experience and enjoy the freedom on the outside of us, because if we're all bound up inside and not doing well, then it's hard to enjoy and experience the freedom on the outside. So first and foremost, I make it this very concise statement. I'm trained as a lawyer, and I've been a practicing attorney since 1985. So first of all, I want to talk about one spiritual value. And as we pursue this program down the weeks, I'll expand on and expound upon it much more fully. But here, for the purposes of today, it is basically this initial principle. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the power of God to change lives. Let me repeat that. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the power of God to change lives. So the promise that comes with the gospel of Jesus Christ relates to change lives. Change lives from the inside. You can be redeemed. You can be saved. You can have many and various positive qualities instilled in your life that give you the opportunity to overcome those things which bind you up inside. Addictions of various types, mental illnesses of various types, various things that bind us up inside. We can be changed on the inside through the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, the second principle that we will also expound upon, but like I said, the first principle is basically the forerunner. If you can't get the first principle figured out, the chances of you living by the second principle aren't going to be too beneficial, because you simply won't be free on the inside. So what we're talking about in the second principle is freedom on the outside, freedom as it relates to that which happens on our outside. If you think about it in these terms, I have built my life around two sets of founders. The founders of the faith, that's where I come up with the principle or value that the gospel of Jesus Christ is the power of God to change lives. The founders of the faith preached that, taught that. Early disciples believed in it and had changed lives. And all through the centuries, here we are in the 21st century, people have changed lives through faith in Jesus Christ. But the second set of founders are the founders of the country, the men and women that helped shape this country in its very beginning. And it took a long time. It wasn't like in 1776, a thunderbolt shot down through heaven and struck this group of founding fathers, and they came to this huge revelation that had never been thought of or intellectualized previously. It took, I would say, 200 years, 250 years to get to 1776, involving revolutionary or evolutionary thought as it related to man's contact and relationship with the outside. So here's my concise statement as it relates to freedom on the outside. And again, like I said, we will explore these statements in greater length as we go along. But for the purposes of today, it is a paraphrase, or it is attributed to Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams was the older cousin of John Adams, and he was also, I don't want to necessarily call him the father, but he was the leader of the Tea Party event in Boston Harbor, where there had been excessive taxes on tea, and as rebellion against these taxes, a group of patriots led by Samuel Adams basically threw the tea off the boat into the water of Boston Harbor, the Boston Tea Party. And so basically this quote has been attributed to him. I actually looked for the direct quote from him, in my internet search. So that's why I say it's attributed to him, because I couldn't really find a direct quote. So it's attributed to him. And here it is. It's very simple. Our best opportunity for happiness is liberty. Our best opportunity for liberty, or for happiness, our best opportunity for happiness is liberty. So don't we want the best opportunity for our lives and the lives of our loved ones? And don't we want happiness? I don't think there's a human being alive on this planet that don't want happiness. We all want to be happy. But what gives us the best opportunity to have happiness? Well, at least in the voice of our founding fathers, it's liberty. And yet here is my biggest challenge as it relates to trying to communicate these principles to you. My biggest challenge is I'm asking you to look past your circumstances. I'm asking you to look past the material realm. I'm asking you to look past mere formalities associated with our understanding of science. In other words, we look past that which is set before us by our senses, what we feel, what we see, what we hear, etc. And we look past that for an intangible quality called liberty. And that is not an easy thing to do in our current age, because our current age is very material. It is very much on what can be measured, what does science have to say about it, and if it is invisible and unseen, particularly if it relates to a concept of God, a lot of people just say, no, ain't going there. But the truth of the matter is, if you claim to be an open-minded person, you should be open-minded to these values and principles and this God that I serve. So that's going to end today's session of the Liberty Observatory. And I'll expand and expound on these things further. I'll include some history. I'll include some political observations. And so God bless you all. I hope you all have a good day. And I don't know whether I'll be posting every day, but I'll try and post a few times per week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.